What? That is like a childish insult.
That's number 2.
When you bust on somebody for their physical features. Right. Like, look at his nose. We're going to start calling you Big Nose.
What about that blonde actor who always plays, he's got the real he's got a jacked up nose. Anyways, women love him. He's got a jacked up feet. So if you're going to make fun of him, say you got a jacked up nose. But
let me tell you, you can get away with a lot of physical feature problems when you get up into the billionaire.
Oh yeah. Look at his hair.
Yeah.
And he owns it, and he says it is a hairstyle he invented.
Of course he did.
Not only that, but at one of the Trump stops, he pulled his son up on stage to talk. He's like, hey, my son, here, come up here and talk. He's got a full head of hair, luscious. I used to have a full head of hair like that.
I think he still does have a full head of hair. It's just...
No, all this is empty on top. He combs it forward and then backwards to cover the empty spot.
So he has a full head of hair.
Oh, that is true.
I'm just being technical.
Number 3, Trump will sue you.
And wait, what was the title of this list? A list of
the 9 Trump's Trumpiest. 9 Trump's Trumpiest of him being Trump.
Okay, Trump being Trump.
Right. So he goes on. Says number 3, he will sue you in New York courts 65 times and in federal lawsuits 172 times. However, when you read into it, he is counting all the times that Donald Trump's company or somebody representing Donald Trump arrived at court for any reason whatsoever.
So it was dishonest and misrepresenting and just...
Well, whatever.
He wasn't accurate.
Huge businessman dealing with the court systems.
You know how that is. Remember... some of our friends that were starting up multi-million-dollar businesses were talking about how you got to have the capital off the bat to be able to fight all the lawsuits. Because people are going to throw lawsuits at you just as a way to compete against you.
Right.
They know it's going to cost you a fortune, so let's see if we can bankrupt them off the bat.
Number 4, Donald Trump is a failure.
Okay.
For someone who consistently toots his own success horn, I'm the most successful person to ever run for presidency by far. Donald Trump sure does fail a lot.
Does he?
Never mind his 2 failed marriages, the 4 corporate bankruptcies, his failure to find a suitable hairstyle over the course of his adult life. Time Magazine and others have run entire lists of his failures. Okay, let me be the first to say that the only way you can be successful is to fail more than the other guy. That is the only way to be successful. So for him to point this out in the first failed thing, his failed 2 marriages. Well, hey, nobody, I don't know. That's his own personal life. Didn't work out, whatever. What are you pulling up?
Abraham Lincoln's failures. 1832, he lost his job. 1832, defeated for legislature. 1833, failed in business. 1834, elected to legislature. I guess that's 1835, his sweetheart, Anne Rutledge, died. 1836, had a nervous breakdown.
Oh, yeah. He almost committed suicide.
Yeah, 1838, defeated for speaker. 1843, defeated for nomination for Congress. 1846, elected to Congress. 1848, lost nomination. 1849, rejected for land officer. 1854, defeated for Senate. 1856, defeated for nomination for vice president. 1858, again defeated for Senate. And 1860, elected president. Hello.
Wow. What did Thomas Edison say about the 10,000 times that he didn't make he failed 10,000 times?
Right.
He said, no. I found a way, 10,000 ways to not make a light bulb.
Right, until he finally...
I didn't fail.
And that was a way to find the right way, which is an important concept to understand. But that we're not talking about being 1 in 10,000 in the battle to win the design for a light bulb. What was it that he failed? 3. So he's 1 in 3 in marriages, but he's like 10,004 on businesses.
There are 4 corporate bankruptcies. And again, we've talked about this before. Bankruptcy in business is not a failure. Bankruptcy is a tool that is used for many reasons. Now, you could say that Kmart failed by filing bankruptcy.
Oh, when I heard that they filed for bankruptcy, I thought I was never going to see them again.
Right. No, that wasn't a failure. It was a tool to reconsolidate all their debt,
And then they
come
were-
out, and they did fail by buying Sears.
Well, I'm not talking about
was a
that.
failure.
No, back in the 80s,
Right.
when they filed for bankruptcy, I remember being a little
Right.
bit sad, thinking, wow, they're going to be gone, and I'm never going to see them again. They've been there ever since.
They're still here. Yep,
So-
still stuck. So number 5, he loves the little guy unless the little guy needs to be crushed. Then he goes in about the whole story about that lady who wouldn't sell her land.
Right.
He offered her $1 million in the 90s to
And
that
she
little
could
old
have
lady.
taken it.
Right.
Well, and it's her bad for not taking it, but the fact that she didn't have to means that he didn't crush her.
No.
So what's the point?
She
he's
actually
trying to make?
won, and Trump claims to this day that she saved him a lot of money because that whole thing went bankrupt.
There you go. So the fact that she didn't have to move proves our point,
Right.
and actually takes away from his point. So anyway,
Number 6, Twidiot. He's a Twidiot.
it's a twittiot.
It's Twitter idiot. Twidiot.
Okay.
Or Twilight lover.
Twilight lover.
Right.
Okay.
As of this writing, Donald Trump has 5.7 million Twitter followers and has tweeted over 30,000 times.
It's funny because I always thought it was definitely him until he did come out with something really stupid and controversial. I have 30,000. One of them ended up being a little bit on the dumb side. Got him in trouble, and he came out and said, "Oh, one of my staffers."
It was a staffer. I
One of my
remember that.
staffers. We're like, what?
Dude, that's gone away. Nobody's talking about that since.
We reported that, oh no, there's no way that's a staffer. We believe.
Yeah.
Because some of the stuff he says is controversial, and how do you trust
You can't.
somebody outside of yourself?
You can't.
How do you trust it? I wouldn't be able to trust anybody.
Excluding the occasional deleted tweet such as, "I would like to extend my best wishes to all, even the haters and losers, on this special date, 9/11.
Oh,
He deleted that one.
well, okay.
Trump is very proud of his Twitter prowess, which isn't to say much since he's very proud of everything. But he's especially proud of his Twitter prowess. Quote, "Many saying I'm the best 140 character writer in the world," he once tweeted, with trademark reserve.
Good one.
And in a way, he has a point. Twitter was made for Donald Trump. Conductive to his staccato delivery, short attention span, and penchant for covering himself and others in shame.
This is so biased.
Number 7, ladies Trump loved and the ones who got away. Whatever. So they're going off on, okay.
About the marriages? Failed
And
marriage?
women dated stuff. Whatever. Okay.
I don't ever hear. Look at Bill Clinton and the parade of women that could come out. It's like Bill Cosby almost.
They're saying in the thousands, plural.
So Bill
They-
Cosby ain't got nothing on Bill Clinton is what you're saying.
Not even close.
Wow.
There's a new book out written about it from a guy that was involved. He was
Okay.
in there.
Knowing that, where are any women, coming out and saying he was such a bad person? His ex-wife came out and said, "No, we're good friends. He's a really good father. Things didn't work out, but we did a good job raising our kids.
Yes.
We are friends.
Yes.
And he's a good guy. And stop, busting his balls. Basically,
Right.
that's his ex-wife.
Right.
Oh my goodness."
A Donald Trump joke. Apologize to Mr. Trump if that subheading read like I was suggesting he is a joke. He most certainly is not. He's a very serious person. Don't believe me, let him tell it. Quote, "I'm a very serious person," he said in 2011, right around the time he was seriously inquiring whether Barack Obama was an American citizen. What I meant.
I still question that, and I'm not one of these tinfoil hat birthers. We know that his long form birth certificate is not fake, or is not real.
Yeah, I just want to see that your dad was a communist. That's all I want to know. And we can put it to rest. That's fine. What I meant to say is that I have a Donald Trump joke. Actually, it's not mine. It was told to me by a former Trump world executive who says Trumpsters like to tell it amongst themselves, as it captures a certain essence. But since it's a little salty with mature themes and adult language, and since I'm a family-friendly writer, I will let him have the floor. So Donald Trump is riding in an elevator. Elevator door opens, and a gorgeous blonde steps in. She sees him and says, "Oh my
blank and blank
God, you're Donald Trump." And he says, Yes, I am. And she says, "Can I bleep your bleep?"
What? Bleep your bleep? What's that?
The first word starts with an S, and the second word starts with a D.
Yeah, that's not good.
"Can I bleep your bleep?" And he says, "What's in it for me?"
What? That's got to be a joke, right?
He said that people that used to work for Trump World, this writer says a former employee said all employees would say that joke all the time.
You mean they would say
about
the joke?
About Donald, right?
So it was just a funny joke,
right? But this guy was using it to try and say that his employees were bashing him.
Oh, I thought you were trying to say that he was saying that actually happened.
No.
Okay.
No.
What's in it for me?
What's in it for me? Okay, and then the last thing, number 9, The Donald and Me, a love-hate story. Here's what it all ends. The writer. Here's where it all ends. If you permit me to close with a personal anecdote.
Oh, this is called the anecdotal fallacy.
Back in 99, when Trump was just playing at being presidential candidate instead of leading the pack, I accompanied him along with a small group of reporters on a 7-day swing through California. And that was it. I didn't want to read anymore. Can you believe that, though?
Oh, of course I believe it.
Duck Dynasty comes out for Trump.
Oh, which one? Did
Willie,
you hear?
the boy?
Well, what about the dad?
Comes out for Cruz.
Oh, well, you can't go wrong either way, I don't think.
All right.
Except for the fact that we're violating the Constitution.
Yeah. So Donald Trump visited the Liberty University this week, early this week, and Dr. Jerry Falwell Jr., who's the president of Liberty University, was on the Hannity show. And on the Hannity show, he said, "Here's some things about Trump the media will never tell you." And Hannity let him go, almost like Coast to Coast with George Norton.
Oh, he went to the bathroom for a while.
And the camera never cut back to Hannity.
Well, they couldn't because he
wasn't there. So here is Christian University, liberty-loving president, doctorate stuff, great guy all around.
Honorary.
Honorary Smith Radio member.
There you go.
Talking about Trump and the things you'll never hear. Oh, come on.
Oh.
I got to know Donald Trump after he spoke here in 2012, and I learned so much about him that the public never hears, and I wanted to share that with our audience. Right after he visited here last time, I called him about a large Christian ministry in another state that needed some help. I learned within a day or two he had donated $100,000 of his own money. He learned about Clyde Frazier Jr., who ran the Harlem Hoops tournament in the inner city and was killed in the 9/11 attacks, and he searched down the family, and he donated the money to keep that tournament going. Example after example like that of just generosity that never made it into the public's eye. He got his limousine broke down one time. A couple stopped and helped him. He paid off their mortgage a few days later. These are all things that you never hear about Donald Trump because he comes across as sort of a tough businessman. And it just reminded me so much of my father, because my father would say, making politically incorrect statements all those years, and in real life and in his personal relationships with people, he gave away so many scholarships to students at Liberty. He almost bankrupted the school here. All the time Trump was watching a report about a Maytag plant that moved out of Iowa into Mexico. And the 3 companies in that report, he actually searched them out. They were about to go out of business because Maytag had left, and he found ways to buy products from those companies through his hotels